Good evening, friends, followers, and channel members. Welcome to CRJ Sunday, or as it has affectionately become known over the last few months, Sarcastic Sunday. Probably because I haven't got a clue how to fly this aircraft, and that's where you guys come in. You are all my PMs today, and many of you far more experience on the CRJ than I do. But I thought, what the heck, we'll give it another whirl. And of course, we are in our executive Easyjet Simpilot livery, made for us by Dark Fury. So thank you very much, Dark, for that. And things are already going badly, as I've seen the baggage handlers driving through the aircraft. But nevertheless, we are not on VATSIM, purely because I'm nowhere near good enough a pilot to be able to fly this thing correctly on VATSIM. And the CRJ has recently been given an update as well, so we're going to see how that works. Good lord, what is that baggage handler doing? Just dissecting the fuselage there. So yeah, the CRJ has been given an update, so we're going to have our little play, see how it handles, see if everything works as we would hope. We're also going to use the new Navigraph feature as well in the sim today, so that's going to be really neat to check out, see how practical it actually is. As I have a 2-monitor setup here, one with obviously the sim, and then I normally have the charts and everything on the other one. But if I can get away with using it in the simulator itself, then that's going to be really neat, because it's one less program that I have to run on the computer. It's one less drain on the CPU resources. So yeah, let's see how that handles. And just for a laugh, why not? We'll also use air traffic control just for a bit of fun. You can see I've got labels turned on. We can see TAP Air Portugal flights circling the airfield. These are real world flights as well, so we've got live traffic on. So yeah, it could be interesting. It's a little bit of fun, isn't it? We're enjoying ourselves away from the real ops versions of the A320s. It would be a long time before I could even attempt to do something such as a real ops flight here in the CRJ. So as we can see, the GPU is already there. The steps are down. Passengers are ready to start getting boarded. Let's see if we can get on board. So good evening to everyone that's joined us so far. Good evening, Chris, Christian, Dark, Danny, KC, good to see you, Simon. K-Stoneman, you're installing X-Plane 11. I don't think that's a bad move, to be fair, given the quality of things that are slowly coming out now from Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. Pilot Pat, good evening to you. Hope you're well. It's Kalo, guten Tag, and Balram and Will and Ryanair 28. Good evening to you as well. As you can see, we are not on live time. Again, I don't particularly want to fly this aircraft in the daytime, let alone the dark. So we shall see. I need to try and beat my Airbus logic out of me as we fly this aircraft. We'll see how we get on. Right, so we're all very familiar with, I say all very familiar, that's a complete lie, I'm not familiar at all with the layout of the flight deck in the CRJ, but we are familiar with the quality that Aerosoft have provided us with. It does just look beautiful. Richard William Lutz, good evening. Don and Fatou, good evening. They're glad you can join us, and Xenex as well. Right, so let's start by getting the battery turned on. And the APU generator, we shall ensure that is on as well. Oh, left, right, fuel pumps, and let's get the navigation lights on as well. Right, so the GPU, I think, is already here. Ground power cart removed. Clearly, they're not linked from a visual point of view. One thing you guys may be able to help me with right at the very start of the stream tonight is, since I have had to reinstall the CRJ just because it is a brand new PC setup sort of thing, I uninstalled Windows and the simulator about a week ago, and it's been working beautifully ever since. But for some reason now, if I go into the options next page, and I cannot calibrate the throttle. I'm moving the throttle axis up and down. As you can see, throttle axis, we're getting no raw input data. Well, that never happened before, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. The thrust levers do work. I did test them a little bit earlier, but I can't specifically set them in here or see where the raw data is, even to be able to set those. If I try and set them, then we just get a daft number, which we're not going to use. So let me just cancel that. So if anyone's got any ideas as to why that in particular is happening, I am all ears. But there we go. So that's the first problem. Anyway, where were we? Did we call the GPU? Oh yes, we did. GPU's called. Right, so we can now get DC power on. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's get that turned on. We'll do the fire test. And APU, we'll do the power and fuel. Turn that on. And then we can check that's on and working down here. And then we can start the APU. So if I start that, there we go. So Simon, it should be in the flight sim settings. You need the other throttle assigned. When you say other throttle, how are you? Bear in mind, I only have a single throttle axis. I don't use the don't use a dual throttle axis. I've only got the one, which is obviously just normal. In fact, you know what? I'll show you my settings. I don't mind. Let me just go to the controls here, Simon, if you want to have a quick look. So we use, where we go, just autopilot, flight control surfaces. So we've got the flaps, we've got the spoilers, propeller, and so we've got a reverse axis there. Sorry, we've got a throttle one axis and reverse axis. So probably don't need both of those. Not quite sure why. Could probably get rid of one of those, to be fair. But realistically, I would have expected some sort of data in there. But anyway, have a look at that. Let me know what you think. Let me just go back and resume. Kayla, the ACU needs to be clear. Oh, I see. Oh, of course, in use. Thank you very much. It's Kayla. See, it's why I'm glad you guys are all here, and that's what it's there for. Right, so I can also hear the APU now, just firing up. Pretty matey, I can tell you with absolute certainty that the EasyJet do not operate a CRJ. This is our private little jet that we have just for zipping around the flight sim world. So Simon, you think it needs to be the throttle axis with 100%? Well, let's see if we can get that working, shall we? So where's that gone? Just let that load. Power management, throttle. So is there one with a 100%? Let's have a quick look. So let's just come out of assigned, essentials. Let's go to all. Throttle axis 0 to 100%. This one here. Right. Okay. Well, in that case, tell you what. Let me delete that. That's fine. Let's try this one and see if we can get that to work. It's already in use somewhere else. That's fine. I believe you can have it cleared to more than one and validate that. That's okay. So that's now working, so it seems. And let's see how we're doing. So apply and save that. Go back. Resume. Let's have a look now, shall we? Options. Next page. Calibrate throttle. I'm still not getting anything. I'll tell you what, let me clear the other one out then, see if that makes a difference. While I'm doing that, Brian B, thank you very, very much, sir, for your $5 donation. And Brian says, good evening from Pittsburgh, and thank you for all the content. You are more than welcome, Brian, and it's on streams like this where I'm just thankful to you guys for the help you guys give me. So let me just delete that one, so clear the current input. There we go, validate that. So we've just got work on the throttle one axis. There we go, 0 to 100%. Let's go back. and resume that. Has that given us any data? No, we're still getting absolutely nothing there. Let's just come out and go back in again. No, that's not working. Okay, as I say, we can still control the thrust. We just can't set the detents exactly where I would like them. But there you go. So that's quite frustrating. Anyway, is that APU fired up yet? I think so. Let's also start letting the passengers on board, shall we? Oh, actually, that's not right. I think I've just set up self-loading cargo for an A320. I don't think that matters. It's still only going to have 65 passengers on board, so that's okay.
Cabin crew, we're all happy with how things are up here, so you can now open the doors and start letting our passengers on board. Thank you.
No problem.
So as we can see, the APU has now fired up and all working. Once again, the problem that I have with self-loading cargo on this aircraft has not yet been resumed following the update from above with the CRJ, and that is the way that it sort of interacts with the door. You can hear the flight crew faffing around with the door there. That's still not working. It also means that we can't actually get the door open. If we can we try and get it opened just here? I don't know if that will make a difference. Passenger door is showing. Yeah, that's okay. That doesn't matter. We're not going anywhere. But no, it still won't allow us to load those up in self-loading cargo. Never mind, I can get around that, I think. Anyway, APU has started. Let's get the hydraulics turned on. Hang on. We want them on. On. So they're off. They're auto. We want them all the way up to on. Why can't I not turn that any further than on? That's a bit annoying. We should be using a mouse scroll wheel for that. Hang on, let me just change the view. Oh, where do we want to look? Is that right? Okay, well, do you know what? If you're not going on, can you at least go to... Has that got 3 flick positions? Ah, it's 3 alpha. I don't think we actually need that one on, do we? There we go. So we'll leave that one to auto. There we go. Power pack, you can't wait till self-loading cargo 1.6. No, myself included, and I think that should iron out a few bugs. It has been a long time coming, though, hasn't it? It's not there yet. Right, one of the other things I've not yet done for you guys is if you want to follow the operational flight plan, I will just pop that in into the chat. 1 second, I'll get that started for you. So into the chat on YouTube, here's the operational flight plan for today. Anybody that wants to follow that along, there we are. So now you've got that. So let's come down to the performance on the EFB. Oh, hang on, let me clear that. There we are. Right, so in using the OFP that I have just given you, then let's just change that to, can we change that to a 0 fuel weight? There we go. So the 0 fuel weight for today's flight should be about 27,000. That's close enough. Fuel is 3,254. 3,273. That's good enough as well. So if we now, once we've done that, we'll set the payload in the simulator and set. Make sure where we are within the envelope. We are indeed. Okay, so let's have a look at the fuel and make sure that has loaded in. What have we got? Toka fuel 3270. Spot on. Okay, that's all set. So now we come to my favourite bit, the flight management system. I'm being slightly sarcastic there. Right, so where are we? We've got an out-of-date AirAx cycle. Not quite sure if we can get... Can those ever actually be updated? I don't know if Navigraph do that. I don't fly this aircraft nearly enough to be able to work that out. Anyway, let's go to pause in it. And where are we? We are at Lima, Papa Romeo. We're in Porto this evening, taking our executives home from the Europa League final. Yeah, yesterday. Do we have any Manchester City fans in the chat? Oh dear. Gate, I don't really care. So let's just pop that in there. That's close enough. Let's go on to the next page. FMS position, that'll do. Come back and set that in there and execute that. Okay, so the flight plan page then. Lima Papa Romeo. I do like the clicking sounds and the sort of graphic, the visual graphic of pushing the buttons here in the CRJ. I think it's quite satisfying when you click a button. You know you've clicked it. Right, what are we doing? So we're going from Porto over to Barcelona. Somewhere else I don't think I've actually been in the simulator before. There we go. Good evening, Obi-Wan, Antoine, and Extreme Paul. Good to have you on board. Danny, it wasn't really a fun game to watch for a neutral supporter. No, sadly, I missed it. I used to be a mad football fan. I'm only going back a year or two ago, but since COVID and we lost the crowds, I don't know. I've lost all the thrill for it. Without that crowd reaction, it's football's. I've just lost the love of football for the time being. Well, it could be that and the fact that I'm a Sheffield Wednesday supporter, but that might have something to do with it. Right, where on earth is our alternate tonight? The alternate is that Genoa? Lima, Echo, Golf. Echo is the alternate. There we go, and the flight number tonight is 305, and let's pop that in and execute. Okay, so that's it. Flight number's all set in. So over to the departure. So we're going to be departing. What are we doing? Departing tonight, runway 35 on the Beldu 8 Echo, and execute. So that's all popped in. What else have we got to add in here? Anything? Alright, so now let's do our flight plan. So let's add the route. So from there then, if you've got the flight plan which I've just given you, we're going direct to waypoint Adoro. And then from Adoro we take the uniform Lima 155, which takes us then, we then want to use the uniform November 976. I can't remember actually. Can I just type that in and pop it in the left hand side? Does that work? It does in the Airbus. Uniform November 976, and it automatically then knows the waypoint between the two. Does that work? No. Okay. In that case, let's put in the VOR Zulu Mike Romeo, and then we need to type in the airway uniform November 976. From there it's to Delta Golf Oscar. What do we reckon that's called? Domingo. And then we're on the uniform November 725 airway. From there we then go to Lobar. we go. And that's our last waypoint then, before the star. So let's execute that. So we've added the route, and now the perf init data, we can just cheat now, can't we? I think we can come across here and just copy the perf init data to the FMS. Has that filled all that in for me? Yep, there we go. So cruising altitude is 30,000 feet. There we go. Execute that. On to the next page. We need to add the trip wind. Let's have a look. So trip wind is tailwind of 33. That's good. Get us there a little bit quicker. Tailwind of 33 and the cruise. We can just put the cruise wind in for now. And next page, estimated time of departure. Right, so if we said, what is it now? I'm actually flying 12 hours behind in the sim here, so that will be 0751. Let's go 0830. Pop that in. There we go, and execute that. We've added the ETA. Right, onto the VNAV setup. Transition altitude here. All right, well, this is where we're going to start using the charts, isn't it? So let's have a look and see how we get on with the charts. So, brand new feature which I have added in today: Navigraph charts right here in the sim. Now what I'm going to have to do is I have to sign in. Now, for some reason, I don't know why I'm having to do this every time we load in. So I now just need to chuck that code in there, and that will then load in the simulator for me. You guys, obviously, even though you've got the code, it doesn't work because you don't have my password, so don't try. Let me just get that sorted, and that should then spring to life once I've entered that code in. So what's that? Zulu Victor Papa Echo November Charlie Hotel Zulu. It would be nice if it would remember it, because I've had to do that a couple of times today. There we go, and it's automatically now loading the flight in there. Although that's telling me it's using runway 17, which is slightly different. Oh, hang on, I know why. So if I now go to flights. Let's just check the latest flight. So we go to new flight from SimBrief. There we go. Right, so that's all set. This is really nice as well. The fact that we can now use this in the sim. So what was I after? I was after the transition altitude, wasn't I? Let's just drag this window a little larger, then we can see what it is we're doing. So while I'm here, let's just get the airport layout, parking stands. The standard instrument departure is the Beldu 8 Echo. Let's find that, and we'll just have a look at our arrival as well. Scroll over here. I do find sometimes, for some reason, clicking within this menu in the simulator, it doesn't always work as well. Sometimes you have to click once or twice. So low bar 2 Echo is our arrival into Barcelona. Just let that load. Where is that then? Low bar 1 Whiskey, 3 X-ray, low bar 2 Echo for runway 07 left ILS. There we go. And of course, while I'm here, we'll pin the airport and parking stands. Right, so now we can pull those charts up nice and easily. Right, so what was I after? I was after the transition altitude, wasn't I? So initial flight clearance will be flight level 100, and transition altitude 4,000 feet. So if we just pop this up here, in fact, we could just make it smaller, can't we? There we go. So transition altitude is 4,000 feet. If you want to get the VFR map KB into the toolbar, this one just here, is that what you're after? In which case, just go to the settings cog and turn it on. It'll be there somewhere. Oh, there you go. VFR map. That's just there for you. Right. Oh, Matthew. Good evening. I've just seen you're in the chat as well. Thank goodness for that. Matthew is my go-to guy on the rare occasions that I fly the CRJ. Right. So transition altitude is set. Do we have any speed restrictions on this particular departure? Not that I can see, and let's be fair, even if there were any I probably wouldn't know how to fly them in this thing. Right, so let's just execute that, and that's all okay. And transition flight level, is this for our descent? Yes, transition flight level. What is our descent? Right, so we need to make this window bigger to actually see all of the charts that I've pinned at the bottom there. Transition altitude will be 6,000 feet. We can just minimise that now, can't we? There we go. And execute. There we go. Right, so KB, oh, you mean the VFR map like Sky Vector and Little? Right, so not that I'm aware of. Not yet, anyway. Maybe that will come in the future if Navigraph can do it. It can't be too far, be too long before someone creates a mod that does all that. Right, so let's now come up. We'll just check those legs and make sure there's nothing missing through any of those. Any discontinuities? I'll tell you what I haven't got. I haven't actually put the arrival in, so that's the let's do the arrival. So what is our arrival? Our arrival is 07 left, the ILS, ILS 2, ILS 07 left Zulu, using the low bar 2 Echo. There it is. Right, and we'll have vectors, I believe, to that. We'll just double check. We don't use Rubil or Sil or any of those, do we? Oh no, they're different stars. It's just the way the flight computer laid out. I'm looking for transitions, so I believe it's just vectors. So execute that. Now if we go to legs, let's check for any discontinuities in there. Oh, hang on, go back, there's one. So we'll just copy that, pop that in there and execute. And so we've got vectors showing just there. We can copy that, previous page, pop that in there, execute. Alright. That all now looks good to me. I think that's everything set up there that it needs to be. Oh, I know what I should have done right at the very start. We should have turned the ideas to be the IRS to start aligning. Oh, actually, they're not set to real time, so they've been done instantly. Ha! Thank God for that. Right, so FCU, what was our clearance altitude? It was going to be 10,000 feet, wasn't it? Oh, that's already set. Matthew, what's an normal speed for departing? I think I normally just set something like 220 to begin with. And turn the flight directors on, of course. So there we go. That's all set. So with that then, what else have we got to do? Down to the performance page. So onto the performance page, flex temp. I think we've just been told to use, do you know what, I'm going to pop that in, but because of my thrust levers not being able to set those correctly, then I'm guessing that it's just going to be a toga takeoff. So that's fair enough. Right, onto the RadNav page. Do we need to set anything on there? Oh, let's just set a squawk code. There we go. So that looks all okay to me. Let's just turn VNav on there. Not that we need that straight away. Matthew, you set it to 80. Oh, okay. Presuming that's obviously not the speed you're going to be targeting. Once you press speed, it will always book to the current speed, so it doesn't matter. Ah, got you. Got you. Fair enough. Good to know. Right. Set local pressure, which is 1014. And V-speeds. Let's set them on the electronic flyback. So we're going to use flap 8. Runway is dry. Let's set all those V-speeds. Have they been popped in? Indeed, they have. Nav source is FMS 1. And what is the airport elevation here in Porto? It is. Are we going to have it on top left? So elevation is 227. Right. Oh lord, I'm going to have to try and remember. Where do we set this now? Is that down here? But in order to actually see what it is I'm doing, I have to bring out these, don't I? So landing elevation, is that set? Is that this one just here? Yeah, 227. So call it 280. There we go. Right, so what do we want? We want the packs. They need to come on, I think. Make sure that we don't all pass out from asphyxia. Anti-ice, I'm presuming we probably won't need that. It's quite nice and warm, and from what I saw outside, there aren't exactly any clouds knocking about either. But I suppose we can turn on the windshield and the probes heat. There we go, got all those on. Okay, so are we about ready to push and start? There's the question. Bleed air is normal. So that's all okay, I think, at the moment, until we get ready to push and start. Let's have a look. I think I now need to remove chocks. So the chocks are in place. We can remove those. And oh, was the door open? Oh, silly thing. I'm gonna have one last go at fighting with self-loading cargo, but I don't think that's gonna let me do that. Never mind. I will do that differently in a moment. So let's close that up. GPU is connected. We can now get rid of the GPU because the APU is running. So let's get rid of that. How to get rid of the GPU? Why can't we get rid of the GPU? Do we need to put the chocks in place, then get rid of it? Oh, I see. Correct way of doing things. So now that's removed, we can remove the chocks. That's all good. And does that actually move in the sim? Oh, it does. Oh, wow. There's some drift. Alright. So then, other things to turn on. We need the passenger signs on, seatbelt signs, emergency signs, which way to arm those. There we go. Right. So I think we're now about ready to push back. One thing I haven't done is I said I was going to use air traffic control, didn't I? Let's see if this works. So if we pop that in, and the AI control, you guys can talk to air traffic control, manage the radio comms. So let's do that. And oh, there we go.
Easyjet 034 pushback request accepted.
So that's good to know. So let's see then if we can push back correctly. We're all ready to go. What's the master caution? Oh, that's fine. We've just not started any engines yet. Okay, so I don't know if I'm doing this correctly, but let's get cross-flow override on. And we want the ignition on. And then we can start the right-hand engine. So that's now starting. And we need to wait till this gets to about 20% M1, I believe. Wayne, good evening. Hope you're well. So once that gets to 20%, we'll lift that up. And hopefully that should then continue to fire up. It appears to be doing so. Where on earth are we taxiing back to, by the way? So, departure runway is around here. Oh, we're just going to wing this departure. We'll find our way. If we get lost, we'll we'll flag someone down and ask them. Okay, let's start the second engine, or the left-hand engine. So, if we can now release the parking brake. Should be able to start that pushback, I think. Well, it's trying to move us. Why aren't we moving? Does it need a bit more oomph? Chocks are removed. Close, 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 close. We're ready for taxi. Why? Why is the taxi not working? Oh, I know why. I know why. I'd got pushback helper open as well as this pushback mod here, and I think they were just fighting each other. Oh, we need to lift this up, don't we? Set that to idle. There we go. Okay, a couple of other things then. So trim position 7.5. I think we're already at 7.5, aren't we? Yep. Trim position is set 7.5. Both engines are now firing up. We've got the yaw damp, Mac trim and stabilizer trim to put on as well. Right. Let's just have a look at how we're pushing ourselves back. For anyone that wants to see how well we're doing with live traffic, by the way, this is live traffic, so if you get on Flight Radar 24, you should be able to have a look at that. And see whereabouts in the world they are. We can probably just speed up that tug a little bit. There we go. So there's our departure runway, and which way are we going to taxi there? Looks like we're going to have to taxi. We'll taxi back this way, and do you know what? We're not being too serious tonight. We'll just cut the taxi line, I think. As this is where we want to hold, just down there. So yeah, I'll do the stab, mac and trim, yaw dampeners, etc. just once I've got the taxi sorted. So that looks good. Let's slow that down and end the pushback. Set the parking brakes.
Porto ground Easyjet 034 ready to taxi straight on departure with Kilo. Easyjet 034 taxi to an hold short at runway 35 using taxiway Bravo. Contact tower on 118.855 when ready.
Is there a particular reason that the Mac trim doesn't engage straight away? Is that just something I'm not doing correctly there? Okay, so I think all that is looking good. So back to the overhead panel. Bleed air wants to be normal. APU can now come off. Nose wheel steering wants to be armed. Taxi lights on. That's those ones, isn't it? Taxi lights on. Passenger signs are they on or off? Ah, they're off, aren't they? There we go. Oh, they were on auto, so that's close enough. Okay then, I think we're about ready to to taxi. Seatbelts, no smoking. Contignition. What's that? Ah, turn that off. There we go. So, welcome on board, everyone. Let's see if we can taxi our way over here, and then we'll run over a couple of taxi lights and depart runway 35. Engage autopilot and hope for the best. Right, let's see if my thrust levers are now working, otherwise it's going to be a real short flight. So, I am moving the thrust levers. You can see it is moving somewhat, but it's not actually doing anything. Oh, that's quite annoying, isn't it? Oh, what's going on here? Right, do you know what, guys? Let me just put the... That's not the parking brake. Oh dear, probably shouldn't have pulled that. Right, parking brake is back on for the moment. And Christian, don't say stuff like that. Good lord. I'm just going to go and swap that power management back over, because that seems to be not working. Right, so let me just clear that out. And yeah, I don't know why I've not got the thrust lever working. It's a real pain. So throttle 1 axis, full throttle, 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 throttle. Where is it? There. And validate. Apply and save. Check that's working. There we go. Right, let's see if we can move now, shall we? As I say, if not, it's going to be a real short trip. Yeah, I don't know if you guys were here right at the very start. Oh, hang on. I'm not going to be going anywhere with the parking brakes on. I don't know if you guys were here right at the very start. For some reason, I don't actually have the ability to calibrate the throttle in the tablet, and I don't know why. It's only since I've reinstalled the CRJ and it's not worked. And at the moment, this still isn't working either. I can't seem to be able to get them moving. And right now, why have we just pushed those forward and absolute naff all is happening? Oh, this is terrible. Why didn't I just stick with the Airbus? Come on. Oh, right. They're now stuck there, so that's, well, that's interesting. You can see N1, N2, etc. moving up and down, but it's not doing anything. And if we go over to the FB, I'll just show you guys exactly what I was on about. I'll go to the next page. Calibrate the throttle. I'm getting no raw input data. Oh, hang on. I just heard the engines throttle up. Oh, it seems to be working now, a little bit. But visually, I'm still stuck at maximum thrust, and I obviously don't want that. Nick Taylor, yes, that's the one. That's the one. I only use the thrust levers for that. I don't use the what do you call it? I don't use the actual yoke. Google user. It was originally the throttle axis 1, and is it 0 to 100%, something like that? That's the one I tried, guys, and it just didn't work. I think we tried it early on in the stream, actually. Still didn't work. Right, is air traffic control going to tell us that we're allowed to... oh, hang on, we need to contact the tower. Get a little bit closer. Because Google user, I believe you are right, of course, but Duffman, what have we got? Untick the throttle lever as reverses. Is that in the settings? Hang on. God, the Airbus is much easier to fly. So, this is why I'm not on VATSIM, by the way. So, we don't have a reverse axis, which is obviously why that's not being used. So I'm not quite sure what you're wanting me to, what you guys are wanting me to click there. That's the essentials. Get rid of that. Assigned. No, get rid of that. All. Here we go. So that's the one that we did have it set to. The throttle 1 axis 0 to 100%. That still didn't actually do anything. So I don't know if that's the one that you wanted me to sort of to map it to. I can still map it to that as well. There we go. We can leave it bound to both. Apply and save. Go back. So in the FB under throttle calibration. 1 second then. Let's just resume. And oh, hang on. Throttle order has no reverse axis. Of course, you're right. Still don't get any throttle data though. JJBS use throttle axis 1 and 2 separate. Well, as I actually only have a single thrust, a single lever, then that doesn't really help. Anyway. Let's just get on the runway. We can take off, I think. And if not, it's going to be a long, steady drive to Barcelona. Although we are moving, but painfully slowly. We're not going to take off, are we? And at the moment, the thrust levers just aren't working. No. I'm moving the thrust lever up, down, makes no difference. Duffman, now deactivate the 0 to 100. Let's see. If you guys can get this sorted, then you're far, far better than I am. So let's deactivate this one. So we're now just on throttle axis, nothing else, just a single throttle axis. Which, Duffman, this is what we were at right at the start. And just go back to resume. And check, calibrate throttle. We still have no data.
Config flaps.
Oh, config flaps. That's because I just shoved it up to full. As you can see, we're not actually getting anything from there, so I'm getting no visuals from the thrust levers when moving them up and down. Oh, good lord, where have we gone? Ah! I thought the parking brake was on. Okay, tower, we're now going to be taking off from the taxiway. Is that okay? Google user, you've just checked it's the throttle axis. Yeah, that's what we've just set. Still not working. Adam, did I download yesterday CRJ fixed the throttle bug? Oh, that sounds interesting. No, I didn't. Actually, I re-downloaded this CRJ this afternoon. So I would have presumed that was the latest one, unless they brought something out in the last couple of hours. Can we actually take off? Can we take off and get... just get airborne? Right, big round of applause if we can actually take off. Let's just try and go full power. Flaps. We've not got flaps down. Ah! Oh, good lord. Flaps are coming down now as we roll. That's close enough, right? We'll just remain on the runway a little bit after V1 just in case. Oh, there we go. Oh, we're airborne. What were we worried about? I don't think I've turned any lights on either.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Porto approach Easyjet 034 is time 2 miles north of Porto 500 feet. Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
Easyjet 03, Porto approach. Squawk 0426.
Anyway. Nav.
Squawk 0426,
Speed.
Easyjet 034.
And autopilot 1 engaged. There you go. It's now not my fault. Matthew, right, so if there is an update for that, that's clearly something that I need to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign has now been turned on. You are now
I haven't turned the seatbelt sign off. Good lord. Who on earth would turn the seatbelt sign off when I'm flying this aircraft?
seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence.
Oh, shut up and just get the beers
Contact a
out.
member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Christian, there's a very good reason I don't fly the CRJ on VATSIM. Craig, so the website downloads 1.0.3, then you need the updater to get one. Right, okay. Oh, I wish I'd known that before starting the stream tonight. Never mind, it's provided a little bit of entertainment. We're now finally on our way.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that
Oh, they're
smoking is
full
not
already.
permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes.
10,000 feet. I'd turn the lights off if I'd been bothered to put them on.
Clearance to Saint Exupery.
Where did that just ask if we could go?
Was cleared to Saint Exupery Airport as filed. Take off runway 35, climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure frequency is
No, 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 no. I'm not flying to Leon. Oh wow, well, we're just completely ignoring air traffic control as well. Oh, do you know what? Let's just put our feet up on the passenger seat, shall we? So all was going so well until the fact that the thrust levers didn't move, and that sounds like it's just an update problem, which hopefully I can overcome. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Oh, well, for those of you wanting to learn how to fly this aircraft correctly and properly, don't watch me. For those of you wanting to learn how to fly the Airbus A320, do watch me. Let's turn those seatbelt signs off. I'm pretty certain we're not going to fall out of the sky now. You can relax, stretch your legs. Beers are on their way around. Christian, at least the weather's good. Weather's spot on, isn't it? Not a cloud in the sky. That's what it's been like here in the UK today as well. Right, what was our cruising altitude? I think it was 30,000 feet. So go on, we'll set flight level 300 and just lower that. Are we still at max? Oh my word! What are the engines doing? Look at that! Zooming up and down. Oh, we may not make it to Barcelona. Landing is going to be very, very interesting with no control over the thrust. Can we get this to climb, please? Oh, good lord. Right, that'll do. But I don't want asymmetric thrust. There. Manual. Oh, we're going to fall out of the sky. This could be a very short stream. Maybe we'll just cruise at 17,500 feet, shall we? Yeah, I'm about to stall.
Porto Tower, France, Solile 4845 ready for IFR departure runway 35. France, Solile 4845 QNH 29er decimal 9er.
Yeah, this isn't good, is it? Right, okay. Do you know what? Anyone fancy a VFR flight?
Cleared for takeoff runway 35 France, Solile 4845.
I'm not so sure Barcelona's going to work with this thrust lever problem. We've got 50% M1. This isn't going to work. Every time I move the thrust a little bit, I seem to gain engine power. Oh, do you know what? This is worse than the Sioux City landing. Look at it, jumping up, down, up, down, up, down. You guys have always said you want to see more emergency procedures and how we deal with them in the how you deal with them in the real world. Well, every flight in the CRJ is an emergency procedure for me. Get me back in the Airbus. I'm about to bail out and jump into the helicopter. Even though I'm descending, I'm still not gaining speed. It's just not going to work, is it? Ah, how annoying. Metam, we have set thrust to climb. There is a bug with the thrust levers. We know we're descending to try and maintain our speed. It's still not working. What's the slowest we can fly the CRJ, Matthew? Safely. At cruise level. Oh, man. Okay, will we get the old Alp catcher?
France, Solile 4845 contact Lisbon Center on 119er decimal 55.
Danny, Madrid to Barcelona in the A320, that'd be a breeze. I'd do it blindfolded.
119er
Metam, there is nothing wrong with the trim. Well, the main problem is the thrust. There's a bug in the aircraft, and yeah, so even if I go, oh good lord, even if we go to max power, It's still showing manual here, isn't it? So that's not working. Matthew, so doesn't it actually give us a stall warning? That's interesting. Right. Well, this is no good for situational awareness. Am I not heading towards the Andes? Okie dokies. What's the chance of us getting this baby back to Porto? Let's get that nose lowered, shall we? See if we can gain a bit of speed. I need an airfield. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologise, but this flight will not be commencing the way we wanted it to. I've never crashed on stream before, so this could be a first time for everything. I've just got no thrust. I may as well just cut power. Don't think I can fly 160 knots, can I? Not in this thing. Craig, that's a great idea. Turn autopilot assist on, see what happens. Right, can anyone spot a good field or a highway? Because this isn't going to work. What are we at? 6,000 feet? Let's get some speed. And see if we can just level the aircraft out a little bit. I'm just pointing my nose towards a pink dot on the VFR map now. Matthew, if you lost thrust, what's the flap setting to get us as close as we can? We want to travel as far as we can without well, without descending too much. At the moment I'm losing 1,000 feet per minute, and that's not going to work. That's not going to end well. Just look at the M1. Aircraft are stalled, and this is interesting. Oh, I'm going to have to think of something else to do. Dark, yeah, I'm headed towards Lima Papa Victor Lima. I'm not so sure we're going to make it, mind. We want to be clean. That's okay. We are clean. I don't think we're going to make it to the airfield. And the terrain doesn't particularly look that nice beneath us, does it? Oh, you silly, silly aircraft. Oh, hang on. I seem to be getting some engine thrust, and my speed's increasing. Oh, are we going to make it? It's a miracle. It's the British Airways Jakarta flight all over again. Maybe not. Chalty, good afternoon. Do you fix CRJs as well as 320s? We've got broken thrust. Look at the M1. We've got engine problems. Just trying to maintain level flight at the moment, which is proving far more difficult than I would like. We'll probably only get one chance at landing this, aren't we? Danny Rubble, don't lie. There's great fun to be seen here, and I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Oh, I think I'm getting a bit too close to that landmass. Yeah, that's not good, is it? No, 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 we don't want to hear that call.
Sync rate.
Oh, no. Well, guys, it's been nice knowing you. Funnily enough, there is no long-haul mileage Monday flight tomorrow, because I'm going to be dead. But no, in all seriousness, there won't be one, just because it's Bank Holiday Monday tomorrow, so I'm not around tomorrow. Oh, good lord. Well, at least it's daylight, and we're going to have a first-class view of where we're going to crash. Oh, good. Oh, good night, everyone. There's the roof. And... goodness me. Made all the more realistic by self-loading cargo passengers in the back. Huh, we made it. Engines are still running. We should probably shut those down before they explode, right? Eastbirds, I'm not so sure that was a cheer. Oh, never. Well, as daft as it sounds, the way that aircraft has ended up, the fact that it's still in one piece, yeah, I'm going to call that a successful crash landing. So, what was the landing rate on that? 3,000 feet per minute. Oh, okay. Right. Do you reckon anywhere around here there's a local pub? That's a problem, isn't it? So I'm guessing that there is indeed, as you say, an update for the thrust lever problem. Has anyone taken off without that problem? Wow, there's the thumbnail image for the Scream, isn't it? Yeah, that hot fix, Matthew, as you've just said, is needed. Right, well, good news for the neighbours here. They've now got a new toy for the kids to play with. Yeah, good stuff. Oh, right. Do you know what? I haven't got time to do a full flight now. However, if we can't use the CRJ, stick with me. I have an idea. Simon, has the alcohol survived? That is a very good question. Dark one for the history books. Oh, until now, I've never crashed on a stream. Sadly, that's another record that's just gone. Let's see. So here's the nearest airport, wasn't it? Have we got in? Aha. Do we have? There we go. Alright, guys. Where there's a will, there's a way. So Craig, you flew it this morning with the update and it was fine. Yeah, it's definitely the update that's needed, isn't it? Oh, we'll have a look at that. I'm just so sorry, guys, I didn't get to show off the CRJ. I was completely unaware that the update was needed. But there you go. But never mind. We're going to jump into another aircraft that I can't fly. Just for the hell of it. Combrick from what... good evening, by the way, Combrick. Good to see you. What I have seen and heard on the chat this evening, the update works absolutely fine. I've just not installed it. What begs the question? It has to beg the question. Presumably, all things like this are... all updates, CRJ updates, are all tested and things like that. How did that get past quality and assurance testing? And then need a and then need an update hot fix for it. I mean, seriously, come on. Right, let's fly that back to a bit more live time, shall we? There we go. And, right, how on earth do we power this on? This is overhead, is it? Do you know what? It's been a while since I've played with this. Battery, pitos, get the lights on. Prime the fuel. Generators. They all now firing up. Let's hope this thrust lever works a little bit better, shall we? Yeah, appears to be doing. Christian, yeah, I know I need to update the helicopter as well. But we can't do everything. Okay, so I've got to remember how to actually get this going. So we've got the engine 1 and 2 started. We can see the rotor blades now starting to spin. For those of you that haven't seen this aircraft, however, before, we do have an Easyjet helicopter. So here we go, as promised on a Sunday. Oh, what's that I've just pressed? That can go away. So as promised on a Sunday night, another aircraft that I don't know how to fly, but at least this one is an Airbus, isn't it? And we've got the tablet there. Let's have that on. Let's have that on basic. That's fine. Craig, is this now a rescue mission? Yeah. Okay, so let's see if we can lift off and hopefully not crash this one. Oh, self-loading cargo. I think we can get rid of those for now, can't we? This is by far, though, if you're into VFR flying, I think the helicopter is by far one of the best ways to go ahead and do it. So once we've got some altitude, one of the really neat things I like about this is we can just go to direct to, select a waypoint. Yeah, good luck with air traffic control trying to work this thing out. So we should now, if you have a look on the flight plan, it should take us direct to Barcelona. And if we just go, where's the autopilot page gone? How do we go back? I can't remember how to go back on this thing. Let's control that down here. So if we go turn nav on, turn the autopilot on, and if we set an altitude of let's set an altitude of 4,000 feet for now. There we go. And the beautiful autopilot in this helicopter will now do the work for us. Can't remember how to sort this thing out. So our flight plan is taking us direct to level, and we can check that on the VFR map. There it is. And in all honesty, guys, I don't think I'm going to get you all the way to Barcelona this evening. 477 miles in a helicopter is a little longer flight than I had got planned this evening. But it is really, really neat. So how many of you guys have got the helicopter and how many of you haven't? Because I tell you, I think the helicopter is by far the best way to do some VFR flying. It is really, really nice. So we're now just waiting. The helicopter will get up to 4,000 feet. It should then turn and get us on our way. So what are we at? 4,000? No, we're at 3,000 now. Just need to set the actual pressure, don't we? Eastbirds, go to the new camp, see if Barcelona are flying. Eastbirds, why haven't you got Microsoft Flight Sim at the moment? You got problems with that? Original name, you've got the helicopter and you've crashed it 3 times already. Oh no. So nearly at 4,000 feet. In fact, looking at that, we should clear any terrain that's around us. So we can perhaps lower that. So if we lower that to 3,500 feet, that'll start to capture. I have no idea how much fuel we put into this thing, by the way, so that could be interesting. So here we go, 3,500 feet. Smooth flying, and we're not flying the CRJ-700. No. With very good reason. There's a hotfix needed for the CRJ, which I had not downloaded, which meant my thrust levers didn't work. So come on, helicopter, why are we not moving? We should be now getting ourselves pointed towards, oh there we go, it's starting to kick in now. And we're starting to gain some airspeed. So Eastbirds, long story short, you were going to join Digital for his live flight, but the MS Store objected with an erroneous update. And now we have to re-download the sim. And oh man, we've all been there, haven't we? It's an absolute pain when that happens. So Airbus Autopilot, I've got a question. Why are we flying northbound when we should be flying eastbound? Yeah, that's not the way I want to go. We can actually turn that off and select the heading bug. Eastbound, please. It does so with a little bit of a jolt, but it's on its way. There we go. I do like the helicopter, particularly for if I say I'm VFR flying over areas that I know. I have no idea where we are in Porto. We don't actually have anyone in the chat from Porto, do we, by any chance? Christian, yeah, sorry, I got the attitude mode turned on. We've turned that off now. And now we're flying in heading mode. We could probably put nav mode on, to be fair. Oh, there we are. Right, now enjoy the beautiful scenery beneath. It is good fun flying this thing. And I know I've just put the autopilot on, but it's great fun flying this thing manually. Oh, dark, have I got the primers off? Hang on. Where are they? There we go. Thank you. And I love the fact that we actually get reflections off the frame as well. Being able to control everything on this little sort of fly pad thing that comes out of here is really nice too. I've not played around with the searchlight. I don't know if that works. I don't want to trigger engine failures either. Oh my word, can you imagine? We've already had engine failures on the CRJ. I don't want engine failures on the helicopter as well. So flight plan at the moment should be taking us direct to Barcelona. And if we change now the nav to, how do we change that to, oh, what have I done? Wrong button. Oh, there we go. So we've got systems there. How do we change it from nav to GPS? I can't remember. It says don't fly this very often either. Norbert, how do we switch to GPS, my friend? Would you mind telling me which keystroke that may be? Is it down here? Oh, there we go. Of course it is. There we are. And now we should be able to go flight plan, back home, autopilot, and nav, which isn't a million miles away, to be honest with you. And this is why I love VFR flying in the helicopter. It just looks so good. Christian, imagine flying with a helicopter to work. I'm sure there are some lucky people in this world that do that. But like Eastbird says, unless you're flying to a place where all your colleagues are flying fighter jets, then maybe not. Oh my word, yeah, I forgot about those little mountains ahead of us. Future odd-looking CRJ-700. Now, less said about that, the better. We'll get it sorted. We'll get the thrust lever update, and then we'll try again at some point. But say, I hadn't got time to go and sort that out and redo the whole flight, so we thought we'd just go for a little flight across Portugal in the Easyjet Helicopter instead, taking the survivors of the CRJ crash closer to their destination this evening. So is it a bank holiday Monday for you guys as well tomorrow? It is here in the UK. As such, there will not be a Mileage Monday flight. There will be a stream tomorrow evening, but not a big one during the day. So I am sorry that tonight's stream has been interrupted, but whenever I try to fly the CRJ, it's never straightforward. Just want to try and reset that camera view. I always forget the button what resetting that position is. So do you think we can make it over the hills? We might have to climb a little bit more. For sure, yeah, we crashed. Essentially we had an engine failure. And, well, the CRJ doesn't fly that well without speed. So we plonked it in the back garden of a small housing estate and broke out the helicopter instead. Sounds kind of fun when you say it like that. Eastwards, that's right, the kids are home for another week. Not only another week, but next Monday they're off school again. Teacher training day. Can't they train during the school holidays? Yeah, Doug, that's what Sundays are all about. Sarcastic Sundays, we don't really care. Can you imagine if HD was here? He'd have no hair left. Me's thinking we're going to have to get a little bit higher. Christian, give me some more directions. Might not be implemented in this older version, but we could try it. It's on the bottom in the middle. Okay, the bottom of what? This could be close, couldn't it? We could have a trip through the mountains, which is quite nice. Dark, how are you getting on with your little one, my friend? Are the sleepless nights still working for you? Contact Lisbon Centre, okay.
Going to 1100.55 Echo Zulu Yankee. Lisbon Center, Echo Zulu Yankee, 3,500 feet. Echo Zulu Yankee, Lisbon Center, QNH 29.9 tree continue as planned.
You're not on about the training button, are you? Left of my leg. Left of your left engine 1 starter. Oh, this one. Oh, okay. Oh, well, it's done something. I don't know what, but it has done something. Airspeed's increasing, actually. Ah, maybe it has done something then. Fair enough. Eastwards, a nice mountain trip, indeed. Where are we, anyway? Oh boy. That's going to be one long journey to Barcelona if we went the whole hog. It'd be a long trip to Madrid, wouldn't it? I mean, we are essentially a little bit faster than a Cessna. Chalty, you never trust a machine where the wings are travelling faster than the fuselage. Well, that's all it is, isn't it? It's just a big spinning wing at the end of the day. We may be grazing the top of these this mountain range in a moment. Find out what happens in a sec, shall we? I mean, we've already crashed once tonight. Uh-oh. I see wind turbines. Okay, autopilot off. I have control. We need to climb. Imagine being the guy that works on these wind turbines. What an amazing view you'd have. We're about to go over Villarreal, are we? Oh, okay. I have no local knowledge. I have no idea where we are. So, just so you guys do have a better idea of where we are, if I turn that on, turn the GPS tracking on and zoom in a little bit, so anyone that does have local knowledge will now have a better clue of where we are. Look at that, though. How can you not love Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 just for stuff like this? Eastbirds, that's true. The stream hasn't crashed. Just me. Anyone know where Lima Papa Victor Romeo is? What airfield is that? Colin, you live here. Oh man, nice. Where should I go? What's this road here? Go on, I'll turn that power boost off then. Oh, I felt that. I was flying manually. Yeah, okay. So this looks like a massive highway down down there. Nice. Oh, is that Villarreal Airport? Oh, of course it is. Just look at the blooming code. That would have told you, wouldn't it? Lima Papa Victor Romeo. Fitzy, good morning. The CRJ is indeed looking different. I crashed that, so now I'm going to crash the Airbus helicopter instead. People go very fast on this highway, do they? Colin? I thought he was talking to me. He's not. He's talking to a Ryanair aircraft. The Autostrada 4 highway. Nice. So, where's Villarreal Airport? I'm presuming it must be further ahead of me than this map is depicting, because this looks like very unstable terrain around here. Oh, hang on. There it is. There's lots of ridges. You don't want to mess it up here, do you? Fitzy, you didn't even know there was a helicopter yet. Ah, there's not just any helicopter. Haha, there's that bad boy. There's the Easyjet helicopter. How neat does this look? Does anyone want to have a laugh at me attempting to land this thing? Okay, well, we could do that. Maybe not well, but we can do it. Pilot pad, don't forget the flaps. I'll be flapping enough for all of us. So Colin, if you're from here in the real world, is the weather looking accurate? There's not a cloud in the sky. Auto land, Nick. Yeah, I wish. Alright, we need to spin it around because we've got a bit of a tailwind as well at the moment. So let's get somewhere a little closer, spin it around, and then hopefully we can land, shall we? Slight nose first. Try and get the green dot, as you can see there. You'd want to try and get the green dot centered. So it's one of those things that definitely becomes easy with practice. And I haven't had a lot of that. We may just end up in a field, to be fair. I wish she'd stop looking at me. Okie dokies. So, we're now into the wind, which is what we want. Let's just plonk this aircraft down. Now, I don't know if the landing rate will have just flashed up as I did that. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, doors opening. Did I do that? I don't know if I did that. I think I did. Do you just click on that to open and close the door? The problem I've got now is how on earth do I close the door again? Oh, there it is. Chalty, let her land it, it's then her fault. Yeah, good idea. Well, we're down. I wouldn't say we were down perfectly, but, you know, any landing you can walk away from and all of that. So, if we want to do some proper bush landing then, let's just see. If we now go, we'll take a trip to... There's obviously a small VFR-J airfield just there. What is that? Lima Papa Juliet Oscar. I don't know where that is. But let's take off and we'll head there. And then, guys, I'm afraid I'm going to have to call it a night, as that was the allotted time I'd got for the stream this evening. I am very sorry that it didn't work out as well as expected, but it's a Sunday night, so anything can happen on a Sunday. Let's just get this up over here. Let's get some speed up. Maybe do some low-level flying. Ooh, not that low.
Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace. Echo Zulu Yankee Lisbon Center. Squawk 0562. Squawk 0562 Echo Zulu Yankee.
I'm impressed that the co-pilot is still working the radios for me. I thought he'd have jumped out a long time ago.
Lima Papa Victor Romeo 2000 feet. Cleared through the
One of the things that I did the first time I got the helicopter was took off from my local airfield, put in on the direct 2 on the autopilot, just popped in. I think it may have been London City, and then yeah, I just put the autopilot on, off it went to London City, but I set it to fly at about 2,000 feet, so quite low down, which basically just took me straight down the M1 here in the UK. And it was great. The amount of things that you saw, the amount of things that you recognised, it's just fantastic. We've left the burning carcass of the CRJ behind us this evening anyway. Colin, does the helicopter fly like the A320 or is it actually realistic? I'm presuming you're talking about the default A320, as the fly-by-wire A320 is very, very good. But does this actually fly like a helicopter? I couldn't tell you. I'm not a helicopter pilot. Not a CRJ pilot either. But it is really, really nice to fly. There's also a different levels of flying this. As you see, if we just flip that back out, go back to the home screen, and you can change it from basic to advanced. Suddenly I turn it to advanced and things start to become very interesting. Or you can just turn it to Xbox mode. So if you're playing with a game controller, that's quite useful there. If you've got a side stick, then basic is probably the way to go. Johan, what went wrong with the CRJ? Engine trouble. Look at that. That's amazing. What a view. So, anyone care to tell me which airfield Lima Papa Juliet Oscar is then, as that's where we're headed? I would say from a stick handling point of view though, the helicopter is easier to fly than the CRJ. Much easier to fly than the CRJ. Especially when you have a working thrust. So I have no idea where I am or what this little village here is called. Eligio, is that what the airport is? Eligio Airport? I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, so my apologies. So we're still in the district of Villarreal. Nice. But when flying over, I took a helicopter trip here in the simulator over the Alps, going down into Nice and to Monte Carlo, and it was amazing. All the little ski villages and things, they're all there, and you think, how nice would it be to actually sort of retire and just live out here, live your days out here. Fantastic views. G-Mark, the CRJ looks a little different. Yeah, this is the CRJ-1000. Right, so where is that airfield? Should be just over over this side, I believe. We're not that far away from it. And it is just an airfield, isn't it? It's nothing nothing major, I don't believe. So we'll fly over it and then come back around for a landing. So is it one of those grass strips? Trying to see if we can see it now. Is that it down below us? I can't see anything that looks too much like an airfield down there, can you guys? Let's just spin her back around. I can't see anything that looks like an airfield. And we're meant to be literally hovering over the top of it at the moment. So should be just in front of us. Is it there? Must be a grass field with a road running through it. Well, okay. Let's aim for that then, shall we? I was looking for a grass runway of sorts, but there it is, with the road running through it as well. I'm going to have to get in Google Maps after this and have a look. So, just trying to concentrate. There it is, this sort of grass strip thing here. Let's pull that nose back. And yeah, so we're right over it. Has anyone had a quick look on Google Maps, see what it looks like? I'm presuming that is a sort of road there, isn't it? Christian, is the airfield closed? Ah, right, okay. So we're landing on the remains of the airfield then. Fair enough. Let's see if we can get a decent touchdown rate then. Down we come. Try and centre the green ball. You wouldn't want me trying to land on a helipad in a hospital car park, would you? Oh, we're down. What was the touchdown rate? So, Christian, what have you got? The airfield was closed to traffic. since at least 5 years ago, that's why. It has a public road crossing the former runway. A chapel on the site is dedicated to Our Lady of Loreto, considered the patron saint of air travellers and pilots by the Catholic Church. Well, could we have not landed in a more apt place? The airfield is as sarcastic as the rest of the evening. Here it is. Wow, okay. Well, if we had to land anywhere then on a Sunday evening, given the way the stream has gone tonight, I think we've probably just done it perfectly, haven't we? Fitzy -189, I'll take that. I've done worse in the Airbus. So, Christian, are you just reading Wikipedia? That's amazing. But the fact that it is closed, and there is the, well, rather interesting looking road. There it is. Well, close to air traffic, nobody told us, and it doesn't look like the road's particularly busy anyway, does it? Oh, never mind. Oh, there it is, that tiny little village. Great stuff. Do you know, and it's things like that when you just see an airfield on the VFR map, think, oh, I'll plonk it down there, see what's there, maybe bring up Wikipedia, get some information on it, and you find things like that. We've landed at the runway with the chapel, which is the patron saint of air travellers and pilots. What was the chances of us finding that randomly on a stream? But there you go. Fantastic. Alright guys, well, my apologies the CRJ didn't work out, but in the end, at least we got something a little bit different, didn't we? And yeah, what can you say? For those of you that didn't know there was a helicopter in the sim, there sure is. You can download this, a much updated version of this as well, on flightsim.to. It is free of course. And for those of you wondering where the Easyjet livery came from for the special Easyjet helicopter, that is, I think, was that Dark that did that for me as well? I'm so sorry if it was not, because I get sent so many great things by so many of the community members here on the Easyjet Simpilot channel. It is quite difficult to keep track of, but really, really nice way to end the stream. No, Wayne, that wasn't Julie Andrews. Wrong country. Wrong mountain range. Eastbird, you're quite right. The stream ended far better than planned. And I'll be honest with you, the final landing rate here of the Airbus helicopter in the field was probably far better than the landing rate in the CRJ was ever going to be. So there we go. Okay guys, so remember, there is no Mileage Monday tomorrow as it is a bank holiday here in the UK, but I will be back tomorrow evening, back in the Airbus A320. Thank the Lord for that. An aircraft I can fly, and one that we won't have engine trouble with. Hope you've all had a great weekend, guys. If you've got a day off tomorrow as well, have a good one. The weather is meant to be pretty decent over Europe, I believe. Thanks for watching. I shall see you all again very soon. If you're not part of our Discord channel yet, join up there and join the fantastic Easyjet Simpilot community. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Good night.